Another weekend. So as I showed you last week, I added this spoiler. I actually painted it myself, and for being a rattle can spray, it came out pretty good. And from being complete amateur also, it's been pretty good. So what I did is, there is some body panels behind there, so I glued this to those. I'm going to show you the behind soon, and I used the screws here to clamp it in. And you see here the glue came loose, and it really doesn't line up here, not even in the rear edge here completely, but on the other side it's much better. But I know how to fit this to make it align to this line here, because I don't think I can go much more further back here. It would look really strange. Well, it is what it is now, and I'm not too concerned. It's not a show car. Well, to some extent it is, but so let's show you the background. So you can see here it's a Ingo Noak tuning. The article number here. And what I've done is I glue the spoiler to this lip that runs here, because if I want to remove the spoiler, I just remove the lip, and these lips are pretty cheap to replace, and the whole front section is a little bit more expensive. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take this plastic thing I bought at the hardware store. I cut it in pieces, and like I think here in the front it's pretty good, but what I need to do is connect it better here on the sides, so it sticks better. So I'll figure something out, but the goal is to get this on here without having the screws in the front, and then I need to put some paint over the screw hole so it doesn't look too bad. So what I did, I cut the pieces into shorter bits. I cut the tube into pieces, and I removed one of the sides here, so it's just an angle. And I marked out here when I'm going to use some sandpaper to roughen up the material here so the glue sticks better. And I'm probably going to do this on plastic pieces also. And the 90 degree doesn't work here, so I took a heat gun and just bent it to the correct angle, and then gonna glue it in like that. So some sandpaper and some glue. This is now sandpapered here and here, and also pieces here have been, I don't know if it's possible to see, been roughened up so the glue will stick better. So just a little bit of touch with a brake clean to remove all the oils and greases, and then glue it in place. Here you can see I glue them in here, and yeah, so the individual pieces, and at the trailing edge here you can see the more bent pieces, and I use a clamp here to hold it together. I'm gonna leave this overnight, and tomorrow I'm gonna remove the screws, and hopefully it will all stay together. And same thing on the other side. And the glue I'm using is a Burt glue that came with the spoiler, and it's called NSF, and it's really tacky, so, and it doesn't burn, or it's not a two component, so you just put it on and stick them on, and you see the bits and pieces stay in place pretty quickly, so not a problem. And I can show you real quick. So this I did last year just to not get any debris into the cooling ducts, and I just cut out some fencing and bent it over the edge and painted it. And you can see here I'm using wire straps, don't know the English word right now, just to hold it in place. And for the center one also, because I installed a third cooler. Let's see if no, too dark, but anyway, here's the original cooler, and then here's the third cooler, and the air comes out underneath here. That means that these cutouts here are for the air from the cooler to get out underneath the car. So hopefully this is gonna look good together, and I can start to remove the screws. So here is a common problem. As you see, the temp button here on the AC control and the fan button here is worn. It's quite common on these units, and you can send them to US and they will refurbish the whole unit, but yeah, no, that's not what I do. So there are some stickers that can be found on the web, and these aren't for Porsche, but they are for Audi A3, if I remember correctly. So they are not like perfect exact copies. You can see the difference there, that the fan symbol is a little bit bigger and there's a plus and a minus sign, but I think it will be close enough. And maybe the quality of the stickers is also a little bit better, so the buttons doesn't wear again. And the way to separate, so this is let's see, it's located like this. So there are 4 screws in each corner, 1 in each corner here, and then there's a circuit board in front of here, and also one here that that are the connectors. There are 2 tabs here, one there, one there, that you need to lift in order to get the rear circuit board out. So this is the rear circuit board with the connector, and this is the front circuit board, and you can see all the lights there. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 screws that need to be removed in order to get it to this. So let's try to remove the buttons altogether. So I'm gonna have a look, maybe I need to look it up on the internet how to... Okay, there came the display loose. Oh, we don't want that. Let's try to leave it in. So I'm gonna look up how to remove these completely so I can work with them independently from this unit. Previously bought a stack oil pressure gauge here, and I tried to install the sensor and it goes down. It fits on there. You can see where the wire goes. So, but since the sensor is quite high, it hit the bottom of the air, the can where the air filter is. So I needed to buy this extension hose here, and so I fitted the sensor onto the adapter here, and I use some tape here to seal. And this nut here is what was in the engine block. I removed the nut there and put the hose in here instead. So now I'm going to see if it reads any pressure. So let's connect it to some power first. There we go. Got color at least. Okay, that's good. So I'm gonna check if that's reasonable. And next thing I'm gonna do here is I've been grinding away at the sideboards here, and the distance material shows through here, so I need to put some plastic on there before I do some filler again. And the same on the front splitter, wasn't that bad on that one. And then there's this is around the fog lights in the front. So I put some silicone remover on them. I'm gonna hit them with primer. So lots of different stuff going on, as you can see. Since I tested the function of the oil sensor yesterday, I'm gonna go ahead and install the Pipercross open air filter. These are supposed to be much easier to get in than the K&N. The fitting here should be better than the K&N filter, if I understand it. And so the sensor is gonna live on the firewall in the front there, and you can see, I don't know if the light is better today, but the actual outtake is where you pick up the oil pressure is down here. There's a in-6 bolt down there. So, but yeah. This is loose since before. This is a little bit wiggly, but I have to get it in front of the. I have to get this lip in front of the edge where it lives, and it's easier to pick out. And this, if I remember correctly, have a screw back here, yeah. And there are some tabs we need to undo here. There we go. So that could maybe have lived a little bit longer. I'm actually gonna keep it if I get a problem with my other stuff. So this is, I don't know if you can see it, but it's saturated with oil, so I'm presuming it's a little bit sticky. Let's see if we can do this in a neat way. Okay, so there are no screw hole here and no tabs. There is. Okay. Seems stuck on there. A little bit further down. Okay. Wow, that was super easy. I didn't expect it. Okay, so let's find the screws. down on the floor. But at least it's on the floor, not in the engine bay. I could hear it bounce off the floor. So let's see, we are there. There we go. More. Yeah. That's gonna stabilize when I put the other. So, well, that's in there. And then there's this tab here. It goes in the hole down there. Then I'm just gonna get the screw from the floor, put it in there, and then air filter is installed again.